Okay, I was asking an add-on. Hopefully, you have added that validation to this login screen as well as that what we call some student record registration something. So we have already added the validations for registration. I hope. I mean, yesterday's example we were talking about. So I just wanted an addition. Instead of going back, I want to keep a menu button, and once I click, a panel appears, a slide panel or overlay panel, whatever it is. There are two additional links. One is to see the registration data, modify the password, username, whatever it is, and of course, option to log out or just going back. I mean that the back button has to be moved to some other link. So that was an addition I was asking. So let me first add the panel, then see if at all any issues going to come, because I really don't know. You guys took a long time. Even I'm trying now. Hopefully, it doesn't take that much time. Okay, so this is the main page. This is where we are seeing the list, and I'm going to need a panel so that I can display it as an overlay or push or whatever it is. We call that in conventional mobile application development, we call the navigation drawer or something like that. So it's like a drawer kind, it appears and disappears. Okay, so few things. Define data role being panel, and of course name, and like to have a contrast theme. So we usually prefer having a theme B, theme A, B, C. Three built-in themes are there. I hope you know that. A being the white background or gray color background, and B a dark background, and C being a kind of flat high contrast background. Okay, so like for being a panel, data display is very important. We can say overlay or push. So a panel is done. I like to keep a simple list view inside. Unordered list. One being my account. Of course, that's going to give you a registration login details, and the one is log out. Okay. Log out is the same one. We'll let the user go back to the page, so that's more than enough. I'm not giving anchor URL because I'm just defining data rel to go back. So just of course, this is what the back button is already doing. So I'm just moving that here. My account, I would like to display the registration page. In this case, it is a register.html. Keep a transition. Okay, looks fine. Time to display the panel when this particular button. I would like to change this button to, is going to display this panel. This is not going to be displayed anyways, but I just try to give a meaningful name. It's not going to be displayed anyway. The icon, I'm going to use bars. The menu, hamburger menu kind of thing it will put. So let's see. So we have put this menu. Uh, okay, looks fine. But I don't see the theme is taking effect. We need to identify why it is not. Pardon? Let me see that. Yeah. Typos. Sort of wondering, but that was also looking good, I hope. So logout is going to throw the user out. Instead, this one will take the user to registration screen. Of course, we have to preload all the details, and of course let the user to modify, and of course, so this is a area where he can modify those details. Okay, can make it a data insert to true. May look a little better. Okay, that's fine. I really don't like things are touching the edges. So some sort of padding kind of group has been added. Maybe you can put a logo on kind of design, or of course, we are not extending it much, but in a real scenario, a registration page may have a pictures or other additions added. So fine. So now we need to link. I already linked the page, so let's preload them. Okay. So we are already tracking the page loading and which page is being displayed. I'm already checking the register page because to register the validation plugin. Maybe at this point we can restore if local storage really contains value, because this is very important. Sometimes local storage might not contain such object, and that will end up throwing exception error, and ultimately your JavaScript block may not work at all. So let me see the IDs. What are the IDs I have? So username, reg, okay, couple of stuff. But my understanding, I'm not saving everything, but because this code I did not update much. Hopefully you have done it, because in my registration page I'm simply username password alone I'm saving. But I would advise you in your code make sure you save all the details. So let me try to restore it. You name, you pass. Let me copy that. It's a vice versa stuff. Okay. Now we have the values preloaded. So that's it. This is what I wanted. In fact, if at all you are saving all the details, uh, let me put that as well. Let me complete it because I need to upload the code so it doesn't look incomplete. Okay. So what are all the details? Password. Okay, for safer or security purpose, I'm not going to enter the password stuff, because the same page we are going to display in registration page itself, so it may not be appropriate. So the rest of the stuff I'll map it. You name reg, you email, f name. Okay. name. Actually, I need to know what are all the. It is F name. Okay. What else we have? Gender. Okay, this is a pretty confusing one, but anyway, only one value is going to be saved. So let us put a if blocks to identify them. It's male, female, other. I hope I have already explained that to identify the true false state of a checkbox. Others, which one it is? It's other. Okay. Anywhere it's going to, okay, let me put a block. So anywhere, somewhere this particular block is going to be executed. Okay. Is there any ID specifically keep? Okay. So one value would get entered into local storage. Similar thing we have to do for checkbox. In that case, multiple values are possible. So what are all they? Business, travel, others. Because those are individual choices. So let me enter that into local storage. So all details we are saving. So I'll verify in the console, I mean that inspector, see whether the right values are getting entered or not. So let's go back. Okay, let's verify them whether the value is being entered properly or not. Sorry, where it is, resources, local storage. Okay, looks fine. Travel, yes, yes. Gender, male, and other stuff we are not worried about it. I hope travel has been selected. Others have been said no. Where's the business? Oh, yes. Okay, looks fine. The values are getting entered. Now we need to restore them. So where exactly need to restore them? Here it is. For security purpose, we are not going to display the password. If at all the user interested to modify, let him enter freshly. And now time to check. Okay, time to set those values. It's a check. It's a radio button or checkbox. So setting the attribute check to. So being a checkbox in JQuery mobile, I need to checkbox radio set to refresh. Otherwise, the value won't set. Okay, we'll verify before proceeding. I have a little suspicion over this point. Here it is. So because we by default we are setting the female selected, and programmatically I am setting the value to male. To be better, we set everything unchecked to start with. By default, I'm setting everything unchecked. Then, based on the values, I'm setting the other information. Okay. But in this case, the default value would be set to other. Never mind, that's not a big issue. Okay, so my values have been set. So let me set all these other values based on that. Sorry, local storage. So whatever value else comes, we'll take it as a negative. But else if n also you can put, for the case it's going to work. We've set those individual values. So the values being selected based on. So this is the registration data which I entered. Safety purpose, I am not displaying the password. If at all the user has to modify the password, let him enter, and whatever value he can modify. So we just did the my account page in the panel so that user anytime can modify the registration data. So this is a simple add-on I wanted. So in this example, we have seen various navigation techniques. I mean, this is how we usually plan the mobile application development. Due to the space crunch, we do not have much space. So how I am going to keep the content organized, and that in fact makes the successful or failure of your application. These are kind of designed because since you guys are often use a lot of mobile apps, you may be already understanding. Okay, so by if you see this kind of button, so there's going to be a navigation drawer, a kind of menu is going to be there, and quite relevant information. So by one single, I mean maybe the very first time the user sees the particular application, he hardly takes some few minutes and he easily understand the program on how things work. So this is actually an important point as far as a mobile application development. Not to confuse the user too much about where the navigations are located. Give a straightforward idea. So this particular design having header and footer and the content design. So the header not only serves the title of the page, also serves the navigation bar. It keeps the navigation flowing across the pages, and the main content, that's where the actual content being displayed, and the footer of course an optional one. Of course if at all we have some sort of static content to be displayed, Some users prefer a logout button at the bottom or somewhere else. So that, or this space could also be reserved for an advertisement or any kind of a purpose. So a typical mobile design, uh, what we have created here, it is quite often it's most used application user experience, and in your day to day whatever application you're seeing, this is similar way we have built it. So my understanding, in this page I wanted you to add one more field, some mark I remember, I hope you added, and also add the validation in this page as well. And of course the registration we have already added. So if you're not completed, make sure you complete this part as well. So make sure you put the additional information in the navigation drawer or panel menu, wherever it is, and give a additional option so that the user can modify the registration credential, whatever he has. By this example, we have seen how to manipulate the DOM. Not only to that, we also see how the persistent engines could also be used, and how I can send them to a DOM and have the values updated according to the database engine or local storage or preference, what you call session storage. So this particular application a kind of mix of almost all so far what we have studied. So in any point of time, I would want you to create a simple project. I may give my requirement because we have iOS session going ahead. But before finishing or before you near to your MFRP, I will give my own project requirement that you have to do it as a team, or maybe a team of two, something like that. So just before MFRP, I would want an HTML project as well as one iOS project to be created. After that only I will let you go for an MFRP and other stuff. So that I would be doing just 5 or 6 days before I conclude the program. Then I'll give you this requirement. So not to see like this thing we would not ask. Of course, I'm going to demand one more application. I would want you to create an image gallery application. I would want you to create some sort of not only uh, the student record. I may want some sort of preferences to be saved. Shopping list can be created. So various requirement I may give you, and that you would have to create as a team independently. So if you complete at this point, you could very easily do that, and not going to take a long time. So how many of you have to complete this one? It's all complete. The answer yes or no, it's not there means something wrong over there. But fine. I always give a flexibility for one reason, because this is quite new for you. But make sure whatever the time we are giving, make sure you use for a useful purpose, not for I understand you guys are spending a quality time, that I really appreciate that, but it's my duty to remind you whenever possible. Make sure you complete whatever example or whatever task been given in the available time itself.